Coming up on SportsCenter, for the first time in 4 years, baseball has a Game 7. From 3 games to 1 to 3 games square, St. Louis on the verge of perhaps another collapse. Can Donovan Osborne repeat his Game 3 performance, or will it be more postseason heroics for Tom Glavine? There is a new sheriff in Houston, but has the sun already set on him and his mates?
We all, but we're no older than the Bulls. And they did win. They did win 7 games.
On the gridiron, Freeze looks to remain hot against the Chiefs. And for Eric Montross' new team, new injury. Bo Galata, too, is on the way with some friendly, motherly advice.
My mom was, Riddick, maybe you need to retire. I said, why, Mom? She said, well, because that Andrew Galata boy, he's kicking your ass.
Yes, it's SportsCenter, where everybody's an expert.
I think they're gonna win the World Series,
Next.
What did he say? Welcome to the Thursday Hour. Charley, Steiner, Bob Lee, and Brett Haber is going to be stopping by in a little while. We begin with the end, the 7th and deciding game of the National League Championship Series.
Remember, the Cardinals have never lost an LCS, but they have never seen a murderer's row of pitching like this. Last night it was Greg Maddux. 3 days after being roughed up in Game 2, Maddux did his usual dominating number, while Tom Glavine, tonight's starter, sat in the clubhouse charting pitches off television. He says he gets a better angle there than in the dugout. Tonight, Glavine looks to put what he learned to use. It is Game 7 between two clubs who harbor no great love for each other. Gary Miller now in Atlanta.
Bob, here in Atlanta, another gorgeous night. Indian summer continues as the series concludes. A couple of interesting lineup changes, as has been Tony La Russa's want. Dimitri Young, the hero of Game 4, will start at first base. The switch hitter will bat 6th. He continues with his outfield reconfiguration. Willie McGee once again at right field, Brian Jordan in center. And the Braves will have Andrew Jones in left field batting 7th against Donovan Osborne. Now, it's a rematch of Game 3 when Osborne just slightly outpitched Tom Glavine, just enough to win, but this is a clinching game to send it to the World Series.
My job is to do a little better than Glavine. I'm not pitching against Glavine, I'm pitching against their hitters, and hopefully I give up less than Glavine.
ESPN baseball analyst Dave Campbell joins me now. And Dave, Osborne did outpitch him in Game 3 thanks to a little help from Ronnie Gant, but this is the decisive game for the World Series. He couldn't close out San Diego to get through the divisional series. The only time Glavine's been in this spot, one-hit ball for 8 innings, World Series MVP.
Yeah, I think one of the big keys tonight is going to be home plate umpire Paul Runge. In Game 1, he had an extremely wide strike zone. Tommy Glavine fuels on that. He's going to keep testing Runge to see how wide he'll call it.
Well, those are your starting pitchers. I think almost anybody will be available, as we saw with Stottlemyre in Game 6. But I think one of the keys to this series is how you start at the top of the order. Last night was the first game that Royce Clayton played. The Cardinals lost, but that's because the Braves were able to keep him off base.
Braves' top 3 hitters in the lineup have been consistent throughout, Grissom, Lemke, and Jones, and the group is hitting .370 with 2 homers and 12 RBIs. On the other side of the coin, the Cardinals' first 3 hitters in the lineup only hitting .235 with 2 homers and 6 RBIs. But part of that is because of Ray Langford and Ozzie Smith. They're 0 for 19 batting 1 and 2, and they're not in there tonight. But the leadoff men are the key. Marquise Grissom has started off 4 innings getting on base and has scored 4 times, 207 hits during the season. Royce Clayton has gotten on base to lead off an inning twice. He's scored both times. He's scored 4 of St. Louis's 18 runs, and he's only played in 4 games.
Yeah, you mentioned Langford. He didn't do anything when he was starting. He still isn't providing off the bench. Rafael Belliard, the latest hero, as the Braves finally got a clutch hit. That's late in the game. We talked about the starting pitchers, the start of the order. I think Eckersley and Wohlers will probably both be in this game tonight.
Yeah, and surprisingly, even though Wohlers is 16 years younger than Dennis Eckersley, he has more postseason experience. He's pitched in 32 games. He has 9 saves and a 1.73 ERA. On the other side, Dennis Eckersley, he's been there so many times, but 27 games at 2.83 ERA. Both of them have given up crucial home runs. Wohlers to Lenny Dykstra in the NLCS Game 5, 1993. And, of course, Eckersley's big bomb to Kirk Gibson in the '88 World Series. But obviously, they both bounced back from that adversity.
Yeah, Wohlers has been absolutely perfect in this series. 3 perfect appearances. The Braves have won 9 of 10 postseason games in this park. That's the tone for now. For Dave Campbell, I'm Gary Miller. Now back to the studio.
Thanks, guys. The Braves, by the way, over the years in Game 7, historically, are 3-2. The Cardinals in Game 7 are 8-3 through the years. Cardinals tonight could become the only franchise to blow a 3-1 postseason lead on 3 different occasions.
Meanwhile, back in New York, where hot tickets are nothing new, the hottest ticket in town these days is quite literally hot. There are World Series tickets on the street being sold by scalpers that are forgeries, counterfeits, fakes, but they're pretty darn close to the real thing. The only difference is the real ones have a watermark of the Major League Baseball logo. The counterfeits don't, and they can only be seen with an ultraviolet light. While the Yankees sit and wait for tonight's winner in the NLCS, hitting coach Chris Chambliss is taking the day to talk with the Angels about their managerial vacancy. The Angels have had an army of candidates in for discussions, including Davey Lopes, Jerry Narron, Tim Johnson, Sparky Anderson, and Terry Collins, with more to follow. Bob.
After 2 years with the Cubs, Brian McRae had been giving some indications he was ready to move on and climb on the free agent bus and look for a contender. But today, McRae re-signed with the Cubs a 3-year deal worth a reported $11.5 million total. McRae said he believes the Cubs are trying to upgrade their roster. He'll stay put. He was in the top 10 defensively among National League outfielders, and offensively this year he scored 111 runs, 37 stolen bases. That was the highest run total for a Cub in 6 years and the most stolen bases for a Cub in 11 seasons. Hitting leadoff and improving in Chicago. His average dipped to 96, down 12 points to 276, but McRae's on-base percentage and his runs and his stolen base totals all went up. He made $3.4 million last year. He will average $3.8 over the next 3 years. Charlie?
When the expansion Arizona Diamondbacks signed former Olympian and San Diego State first baseman Travis Lee a couple of weeks back to an unheard of $10 million contract, including a $5 million signing bonus, the front offices of other major league teams gagged on the price tag. Today, the contract was rejected by the commissioner's office because of how that $5 million would be paid out. The contract must be reworked before it is approved. Bob.
Baltimore Orioles owner Peter Angelos didn't sign $50+ million in player paychecks this year. First team to go out in the divisional playoffs, and today's Baltimore Sun details why Angelos is upset with skipper Davey Johnson, with general manager Pat Gillick siding in this with Johnson. Angelos, it is reported, thought that Davey Johnson needed to put in more hours at the ballpark, and he disagreed with the DHing of Bobby Bonilla. Oriole sources say Gillick might leave if Angelos makes a move against Johnson. In the last several days, these three men sat down together and agreed to fire pitching coach Pat Dobson and replace him with Ray Miller.
Now to the NFL. Dan Marino's right ankle continues to improve, seemingly by the hour. Marino, who had broken his right ankle back on September 23rd, had surgery to repair it on the 24th, took part in about 1/3 of the team's practice today. And while Craig Erickson will start on Sunday in Philadelphia, Jimmy Johnson now says there's a 50-50 chance that Marino could see some action against the Eagles. In Marino's absence, the Dolphins have gone 1-1 under Craig Erickson, a loss at home to Seattle and a win in Buffalo.
Lost in the atmosphere around tonight's Game 7 in Atlanta is this gem. There's a National Football League game tonight. The Seahawks visiting the Chiefs. One team in the basement, the other just one game off the divisional lead. But it's also the bottom team that's been on this roll, the Chiefs, who have the short fuses in this short week.
We had to run the ball better. We're going to have to catch the ball better. We're going to have to convert on third downs. We have to run better routes. I mean, there's no stone unturned that, we have to go out and play better overall.
I think that if we can pull this one off in their stadium, in our own division, it could be huge.
Well, it's feast or famine for the team from the Heartland running the West Coast offense. These numbers, by the way, include the Chiefs' playoff games. In the last 2 games, both of them losses. Steve Bono has 1 TD and 4 picks, and this was after he opened the season with 7 scoring throws and just 1 intercept in 4 straight losses. Later on in the SportsCenter, more on resurgent Seattle. John Freeze at quarterback and making frequent and profitable use of wideout Joey Galloway. That's coming up.
Last year, the Dallas Mavericks won 26 games and lost 56. So predictably in the offseason, the Mavs made some wholesale changes. They've got a new coach, they have a new center, but so far in the preseason, they've got the same old problems. Jamal Mashburn out with a knee, Jason Kidd has a hamstring, Samaki Walker, Chris Gatling, Tony Dumas all banged up. So too now, Eric Montross has sprained an ankle last night in the exhibition game against the Lakers, which quite naturally the Mavs lost. They're now 0-4 in the preseason. Montross will undergo an MRI tonight. For the moment, he's listed as day-to-day. But coming to the rescue is Oliver Miller. The Zoftic center signs a 1-year contract with the Mavs today. Alonzo Mourning limping around with 2 ingrown toenails in each of his big toes. Ow! No word on his status for tomorrow night's game against Toronto. And the Orlando Magic needing all the help they can get in the middle after losing Shaq, or close to signing 37-year-old Danny Shays to a 1-year deal. Ow!
Last night's World Cup qualifying match in Guatemala City was to have been a critical game for the home team, with visiting Costa Rica leading that qualifying group, a group that, by the way, also includes the United States. But today, 78 fans are dead after last night's stampede and crush prior to the kickoff.
Estadio Mateo Flores is a barren landscape of death. The terror and the suffering evident from the debris of the dozens of dead and injured from Wednesday night's fatal crush of fans. The match had not yet begun when it became apparent fans were being injured in a stadium passageway. The structure was clearly overcrowded. FIFA, the world governing body of soccer, blamed 15,000 counterfeit tickets for the presence of 60,000 fans in a stadium built for 45,000. Local authorities say the stampede began when fans tried to avoid a brawl.
As we were entering the stadium, we were being pushed, but we didn't realize the tragedy that was unfolding. When we got to the downhill entrance to the stands, we noticed that we weren't able to stand any longer, and then we fell to our knees and we were being pushed. The people were suffocating, children, women, men.
The injured and the dead were attended to on the track surrounding the soccer field. Most fatalities resulted from suffocation. The bodies of at least 15 children were seen pulled from the crowd. Guatemalan President Alvaro Arzu arrived after order had been restored. Clearly shaken, he declared a 3-day period of national mourning. The visiting Costa Rican team was equally affected.
This goes above any game, any World Cup. Whenever human life is at stake, the game should be suspended. With regard to our team, we feel very badly with everything that's happening. This is just a football game. It's a football game that has no meaning in comparison to human life.
But the passions of this game that saw fans crowd the stadium 4 hours before the match are at the root of this tragedy. And so too is the fact this match will need to be rescheduled and played in the next several months.
Now the United States will begin its qualification for the 1998 World Cup against Guatemala in 2 weeks. That match is in Washington, but the U.S. national team is scheduled to play in that building, Estadio Mateo Flores, 4 days before Christmas. Last night's tragedy raised the documented death toll at major soccer matches, either because of violence, overcrowding, or disasters such as fire or stadium collapse. That soccer fan death toll is now 797 fans in 10 incidents in the past 14 years. In San Antonio this afternoon, former NBA All-Star and Olympic gold medalist Alvin Robertson was convicted on the charge of burglary. Robertson faces up to 20 years in prison for breaking into his ex-girlfriend's apartment in June of last year.
Our cover story tonight is on a most unusual rookie, Yankee shortstop Derek Jeter, who plays the game with such extraordinary grace and composure. He plays so much older than his 22 years.
I couldn't ask for anything more. I mean, being in an opportunity to go to the World Series in your first year, I mean, you know, I'm living a dream.
Also ahead, the Houston Rockets unloaded a boatload of talent to get Charles Barkley in return, hoping this might be their year to win a title again. And the Tiger tackles Disney. Highlights ahead when SportsCenter continues.
I think a Walmart MasterCard sounds fantastic.
Walmart has a credit card? Absolutely. We've done the Walmart card the Walmart way.
It's just a credit card with low interest. It's simple.
A fixed low interest rate is perfect.
And with the holidays coming, I could really use this card.
It's the Walmart card, but you can use it wherever they take MasterCard.
You can't always pay it off at the end of the month, so of course, low interest rate helps enormously.
We've always tried to save people money, and this is just one more way to do it.
Call now for your no annual fee Walmart MasterCard from Chase.
I'm so surprised that we didn't offer this card years ago. We should be ashamed of ourselves.
Boston Market, the place that made hot hand-carved Boston Carver sandwiches famous, proudly announces the new $4 chicken carver combo. A chicken carver, side, and regular soft drink for $4. Hurry in for a chicken carver piled high with real cheese on a bakery roll, plus a freshly prepared individual side and a regular soft drink for just $4. The $4 chicken carver combo, only at Boston Market.
Hurry in now. Offer ends October 20th.
Coors Light, the silver bullet, it's shipped cold to tap the clean taste of the Rockies. The new Coors Light wide mouth can is here with a giant opening for a smoother pour.
SportsCenter is brought to you by Coors Light. Grab a silver bullet and let the mountain come to you. Coors Light, tap the Rockies. And by Office Depot, taking care of business for companies of every size, everywhere, every day.
Pastels and putts, some red-hot golf action for you.
It's all downhill.
Q Forsman, thank you.
Looking to up
with a long chip for Bird. Why do you think we're showing you this?
Uh-oh.
That's why. Forsman finished the day at 2 under par, and Bob Tway playing the Magnolia course, his second shot on 17. I think this shot will drop about 2 feet from the hole, if I'm not mistaken.
Oh, man, does he have it dialed in today?
So Steve Lowry and Frank Licklifter are tied for the lead at the PGA Disney Classic. Joey Goulian and Jay Sluman are shot back. Jay Haas, Rick Fear are 2 off the pace, and Tiger is 6 shots behind. Meanwhile, Tiger needs to finish in 14th place or better this week at the Disney just to have a shot at moving into 30th place on the money list. That would also get him into the season-ending Tour Championship. Bob?
Still ahead tonight, why Peyton Manning's 6. Next, back to Atlanta. We'll talk with Tom Glavine why he hopes to not be doing this tonight in Game 7.
Mike Pappas for Congress, a conservative voice for Central Jersey taxpayers. Mike Pappas supports less government, lower taxes, and the balanced budget amendment. Mike Pappas is a solid voice for taxpayers. Pappas cut county tax rates in 9 of 12 years for a total tax cut of 14%. Mike Pappas improved county services, cracked down on welfare fraud, and protected more than 1,300 acres of open space. Republican, Mike Pappas for taxpayers. Mike Pappas for Congress.
Hi guys, what are you doing?
We're building modern cars and my car's better. No, my car's better.
Bruce and Gary Coleman loved cars when they were kids and then turned their love of cars into a career. Coleman Oldsmobile, Jeep Eagle Subaru.
The fall season is a time for change, and Coleman Old Special Fall Sale is just what you need to get revved up for the new season.
So stop by and say hi to Bruce and Gary.
My car's better. No, my car is better.
The Coleman Brothers and Coleman Oldsmobile, Jeep Eagle Subaru, where family values mean a great deal.
The Canes figure they're the class of the Big East, but it'll be no day at the beach when they welcome the dangerous East Carolina Pirates down to Miami for an out-of-conference rumble. East Carolina, Miami, Saturday primetime at 7, only on ESPN.
The Big Red Machine. The name conjures up images of Rose Morgan, Bench, and Anderson. Take a look at the Cincinnati Reds of the 70s, the players and the legacy. Outside the lines, the Big Red Machine, presented by AT&T. Tomorrow at 8 on ESPN.
Well, the Atlanta Braves tonight try to keep alive their quest to match the Big Red Machine. Tomorrow night, Outside the Lines will examine the last repeat World Series champs out of the National League, how the dynasty was built, how Pete Rose gets along with his former teammates now, and what it was like to live in that Reds clubhouse. 8 p.m. Eastern tomorrow night after our World Series special. The Braves are still breathing because last night Greg Maddux had a grip on his curve and the Cards were simply gripping. First inning, Ron Gant goes down. The next hitter was Brian Jordan, another pitch that defies Bernoulli's principle and other laws of physics. The Braves got to Alan Bennis in the second inning. Javi Lopez, a sharp double to right. McGriff would move over to third. He had started on first base. And a sacrifice fly would put Tony La Russa's Cards down only by the count of 1-0. Top of the third, Maddox's precision keeping them baffled. Royce Clayton not a clue. In the fifth inning, the Braves knew that one run just wouldn't do. Mark Lemke back up the box. Blauser scores. It is a 2-0 game. And even when it looked like maybe the Cardinals were going to get to Maddux, the Flying Circus took care of business. Ray Langford with a liner. Marquise Grissom is there. Bottom 7, Lemke gets to third by bouncing a pitch off the plate. Mark Petkazik throws it away, and Lemke motoring past second all the way over to third. And then bringing up Chipper Jones. At this point, a 2-run lead for the Braves. Chipper lifts one to center field. Looks like your ordinary garden variety. Oh, we love to put him in the highlights. Sac fly to make it 3-1. Jordan just can't get this one home in time. However, immediately, Cards say, hey, he left too soon. Jones left early. Is it shades of Jeffrey Mayer with the videotape? Apparently, Lemke appears to clearly wait for the catch. The third base umpire, Bob Davidson, no split screen on his television, so it's still 2-0. Time for Mark Wohlers in the ninth. The corner paint it black. John Mabry's gone, so the Braves move on, and they tie the series at 3-1. Braves' embarrassment of pitching riches has the Cardinals now reeling. Greg Maddux may have 4 sides and John Smoltz in line for another, but it's Tom Glavine, tonight's Game 7 starter, who has been the rock of consistency on this club. Glavine, who threw a one-hitter in last year's World Series, a strong outing against the Dodgers in the playoffs this year. But it's the memory of this year's Game 3 against St. Louis when Ron Gant twice went deep that hangs in the pregame air tonight. Bonnie Bernstein with last year's World Series MVP. Bonnie?
Tom Glavine, fair to say that pitching and winning Game 6 in the World Series last year had to be one of the more clutch positions you've ever been in. How does Game 7 of this year's NLCS compare?
Well, I mean, it's right up there. I don't know if it's the magnitude of Game 6. You know, obviously Game 6, you win that game, you win a world championship. This ball game is just a ball game that hopefully will get us the chance to defend our championship. So it's big in that regard, and I'm going to treat it as a big game, so hopefully I can go out there and have the same performance I did in that one.
Yesterday when Maddux was pitching, you stayed inside the clubhouse and charted the pitches. What kind of things did you pick up on, things that were giving the Cardinals trouble that you could make use of tonight?
Well, it's kind of the same thing I always look for with Greg, is primarily location, both on pitches that he's getting guys out on and pitches that they're hitting. So I'm not going to go out there and follow Greg's game plan to the T, obviously, but he and I are similar in that we need to change speeds and we need to change locations. So that was the big thing I looked for, and probably didn't see anything too surprising, but had a lot of things reaffirmed last night.
Lesson learned from losing Game 3?
Yeah, try not to make the same mistakes to Ronnie, I guess.
Tom Glavine and the Braves facing the Cardinals tonight. One of these teams will represent the National League in the World Series. Back to you.
Thanks, Bonnie. Still ahead on SportsCenter. Will Tommy Morrison come back sooner than expected? It's conceivable he could be just weeks away. But up next, Shaq is already making his presence felt in Lakerland. Highlights on Nightlights when we come back.
Enterprise, rent a car for my trip? Looks expensive.
It's not expensive, Mom.
They pick us up? Sounds expensive.
Pickup's free, Mom.
Well, if it's not expensive, why didn't I get a convertible?
Pick Enterprise. We'll pick you up. Introducing McDonald's Deluxe Sandwiches. They're new. They're big, with fresh toppings and a bakery soft roll. The average adult has over 8,000 taste buds. Get ready to use them all. It's McDonald's with a grown-up taste.
Good eye, Uncle. Need a lift?
Nice car, kid.
It's my Subaru Outback Sport.
Another Outback.
Same all-wheel drive traction as yours. Better gas mileage than a Cherokee Sport.
That's fine, but can she...
Alcorn or RAV4? No problem.
Smart boy. Must run in the family.
Outback Sport. The newest Outback from Subaru.
Night Lights is brought to you by Subaru. Test drive the 1996 Subaru Outback, the world's first sport utility wagon.
Jones moving the ball. Jones on front. Savalas pick and roll. Under O'Neal. Oh, basket counts. Slam dunk.
Don't get in the way. That's what I was talking about with the power. They actually challenged this shot. That is the best way to end up in the hospital.
The knock loose by Kersey. Stolen by Kersey. Licked the court path for a slam dunk.
Fight on the far side. And Langdon's over there going at it. Langdon and Stoyanov.
Kind of walked in untouched. Haber made the stop. Solani bursts the speed. Here comes Tamu. Trying to get around Hextall. Tamu shoves it just wide.
And they don't like it too much here in New York. This is a long battle.
Looking for a wraparound. Puck loose. Samuelson, a big blast. Dance right the goal. Lays it in. No goal. It absolutely stayed in that goal line for a couple of seconds and wouldn't cross. What a break for the Ducks.
Check it out. They are still going at it.
The fight ended at about 3:45 this afternoon. A Thursday night NFL offering. Joey Galloway's got a new life with the Seahawks now that John Freeze is heating up. And we'll go on campus with Professor Chris Fowler, Steve Spurrier, and his millions of reasons that he's so happy in Gator Country.
It's warfare. Gangbanging, that was my job. 24/7, I used to have to watch my back. Religious warfare.
From director Spike Lee.
I'd rather be with the homies kicking it.
Comes a story of 12 men.
My father was a cop. He got murdered.
Was it a brother that killed your father?
Who got on a bus.
We could be on our way to getting done.
And found out what was worth fighting for.
Kill or be killed. I ain't going nowhere.
Get on the Bus, a Spike Lee joint, rated R. At theaters now.
Having your car stolen can be a real blow. You work hard for these things. That's why Farmers Insurance is all about getting things back to the way they once were. From the way policies are written to the way claims are handled, everything we do is about getting you back behind the wheel. It's what we think auto insurance should be about. Let's face it, if somebody really wants your car, they're going to get it. But with Farmers, we can at least help get you back where you belong.
At the Tone, the time will be 7:30 p.m.
On Monday nights, your NFL action starts at 7:30 because between what happens on Sunday and what's coming up Monday night, there's plenty to talk about.
The time will be 7:30.
Join Mike Tirico, Sterling Sharp, and Joe Theismann as they take you deep inside the NFL. Analysis, perspective, experience. It's time to catch NFL Prime Monday. Monday nights at 7:30, only on ESPN.
Designed Nissan Maxima. It's attracting a lot of attention.
One of the more lucrative bonus clauses for college football coaches around the country are their local weekly television shows. Now, bear in mind, most of these shows, and frankly, most of the coaches, aren't going to be winning Emmy Awards anytime soon. One of the topics of conversation as we go on campus with Chris Fowler.
As Mike Tyson used to say, everybody had the game plan till they get punched in the mouth. The other king of first-round knockouts, Steve Spurrier, agrees. Come on into the swamp, bring your game plan, get ready to duck. Florida has led 7-0 within 3 minutes of getting the football in all 6 games. Opening scoring drives have averaged 5 plays. Why some Auburn players have chosen to open their pie holes this week, calling the Gators untested, is beyond me. By the way, Spurrier's $1 million deal just finalized includes nice bonuses. Winning the SEC, the Sugar Bowl, and the national title would mean an extra $80,925 for the Gator boss. Do you believe in evil omens involving the number 6? When Texas lost to Notre Dame on the final play, set up by a mysterious shank punt, a curse was born. 2 weeks ago, number 6 Michigan, bizarre fourth-quarter collapse against Northwestern. Then Miami at number 6, loses for only the 3rd time in 75 home games. 2 other one-time number 6s, Notre Dame and Penn State, have also lost. The only team to survive the curse so far, Arizona State. Up next with the current number 6 Tennessee, Alabama, longtime nemesis. More proof newfound stardom can be hard to handle. After kicking that game winner against Michigan twice, Northwestern's Brian Goins was strutting. A week later, he was hooking and slicing, missing 3 chip shots plus an extra point. Almost cost the Cats Saturday's game with Minnesota. This week's weird fact, Ohio State hasn't made a field goal of 40 yards or longer in 3 years and hasn't even attempted one in a season and a half. The Bucs are so good it might never cost them. But ask the Packers about the value of Chris Jackie's range in a big game. My defensive play of the week from Division III. Watch the anticipation, the positioning, the great hands by Swarthmore defensive back Chris Fowler. It wasn't enough. Swarthmore lost to Muhlenberg Saturday, breaking a 21-game losing streak for the Mules. Are you a fan of TV that's so bad it's good? Then get a dish, aim it into the heavens, and get ready for a barrage of exquisitely bad football coaches shows. Watch the features, like this one on the delivery of an assistant coach's new baby, Zeb.
Get the hands on and throw, and then go make a tackle.
Check out the heartfelt testimonials.
To be the official hot dog of the Florida Gators.
Maybe even sing along with the coach.
Good night, ladies and gentlemen.
The one big-time coach who doesn't have a show, Joe Paterno, says they're too embarrassing. We waded through hundreds of hours of this stuff. We'll show you the highlights and lowlights on College Game Day Saturday morning, plus the melding of minds between Gator coach and quarterback and the incredible journey of ASU pass rusher Derek Rogers.
Time now to check today's headlines, and we begin with Brett Haber and a decision that's been waited for some time now in the Bay Area.
Yeah, and it may be a week too late, according to some people, Bob. Apparently, all it took was an overtime loss to convince George Seifert that the sooner Steve Young returns, the better he and all of San Francisco will sleep at night. Seifert, within the hour, announcing that Steve Young will start this Sunday's game against the Cincinnati Bengals. The Niners went 2-1 with Elvis Gerbach running the show at quarterback. We move on to news from baseball now, and it's kind of been a role reversal for the McRae family. Dad trying to find himself while son has the future firmly mapped out. Papa Hal McRae is being wined and dined across the country as one of the prime candidates for a managerial job, while his son, on the other hand, has decided to stay with the same company long term. Young Brian McRae is signed up to stay with the Cubs for 3 more years. Reports say the outfielder will make over $11 million during that span. He hit .276 last year. Also from the NFL, Dan Marino's chances of playing this Sunday have been upgraded to 50%. Jimmy Johnson says Craig Erickson will start the game, but Marino's ankle is healing and could allow him some snaps. And, of course, tragic events last night at a soccer game in Guatemala. At least 78 people killed during a stampede of fans at the World Cup qualifying match between Guatemala and Costa Rica. The game, needless to say, was called off. Well, as we mentioned, we are about an hour away from Game 7 of the NLCS, and if you're into subtext, you certainly have to like the one between Ron Gant and the Braves. The man on whom Atlanta gave up several years ago has the chance now to prove them wrong in the biggest of all possible ways. Our Bonnie Bernstein is standing by with that very Ron Gant. She has more. Bonnie?
Ron Gant asked Tom Glavine what things he learned from Game 3 that he's got to take into tonight. He said, I can't give anything up against Ronnie. More added pressure on you since you got the 2 homers?
No, I don't think so. All year long, I've been depending on the guys behind me to produce, and when I wasn't able to, and they've been doing a great job of doing that. And I feel like I can just go out and be loose and be myself, and then let things happen like it did in that game.
St. Louis up 3-1, so close to getting it done early. Give me a sense of the mental state of this team going into Game 7.
It's been great. I came to the park today, and you know, I walked in the clubhouse, and there were guys watching Caddyshack, putting around in the clubhouse, joking. There was loud music. So our attitude as a ball club is great right now.
All right, play Hollywood producer for me for a second. Former Brave, now with another team, going against the old team to win it. How does this one end? Your bat.
Storybook ending. The Cardinals win the NLCS.
Oh, come on now. What do you have to do with that?
Oh, hey, whatever. I mean, it's not all up to me on this, but if it did come down to me, I think I would get that game-winning hit.
All right, Ron Gant, thanks very much. Back to you in the studio.
Okay, Bonnie and Ron, thanks very much. And yes, the Braves do have the momentum, but just ask the 92 Pirates how fast momentum can shift. That group, one of 4 teams in history to lose a Game 7 after winning Games 5 and 6, and the team that took advantage of Pittsburgh's misfortune that year, the Atlanta Braves. Still ahead on the program, we look at the former NBA champions and what they have to do to become the future NBA champions down in Houston. Plus, more from the NFL, including why the Chiefs' running attack is not running. That and more when the center rolls on.
On Saturdays, your customers can receive 2-day packages from FedEx. Cost? An extra $10.
On Saturdays, your customers can receive 2- to 3-day priority mail packages from the U.S. Postal Service. Cost $3, and there's no extra charge.
On Saturdays, your customers cannot receive 2-day packages from UPS. Sorry.
So, what's your priority? Priority mail from the U.S. Postal Service.
Sometimes he slips up and he buys me a lower quality gasoline. But every so often, he pours a little bottle of that Techron concentrate, and that always cleans me out.
Techron concentrate from Chevron.
Ooh, looks like McCulloch's been busy making more than chainsaws.
Are you kidding? Give me that. Let me see.
After 50 years of making America's premier chainsaw, McCulloch is ready to go to work all over the yard with McCulloch gas and electric blowers, McCulloch hedge trimmers, McCulloch gas and electric string trimmers, plus a complete line of affordable gas and electric yard equipment that's chainsaw tough. Put McCulloch to work all over your yard.
And people call us busy?
You okay?
I'm fine. Where are you?
I'm in New York.
Who am I?
Yeah, Coach.
And who are you?
I'm Batman.
Sit down.
Not going anywhere for a while? Grab a Snickers.
To the Batcave.
At the World Match Play Championship in Virginia Water, England, I believe that would be an Irish setter. And this would be Vijay Singh on the 35th hole, 2 up on Phil Mickelson. Singh using a driver from the rough and knocks the ball out of Browns on his approach, and Mickelson would win the hole.
Ridiculous.
Mickelson 1 down on the final hole, but his approach shot would land in a bunker.
220 to the
He would need the hole out of that bunker to have any chance to force a playoff. And here's his shot. In and out.
What a shot.
And he loses the match on that.
In the side of the hole. And
man. Steve Stricker defeated Steve Elkington today, 3-2. Mickelson losing to Vijay Singh. Colin Montgomery defeating Ian Woosnam, 3-2. Marco Mir easily winning his match, 7-5. Stricker has won 6 straight head-to-head matches. He won all 5 last week at the Dunhill. He plays the defending champ Ernie Els tomorrow. Bob.
Well, tonight the Kansas City Chiefs could go a long way towards determining where they are playing in January and whether they have a shot to be playing at home in the playoffs, because the Chiefs are a game behind first place Denver with an energized Seattle team visiting Arrowhead this evening. The Chiefs cannot afford to lose any more ground, nor tonight's game, because as Mike Tirico tells us, they are all too familiar with losing lately.
Thanks. The tarp is down here at Arrowhead. We'll tell you about the weather in a little bit. There is some uneasiness among Chiefs fans. After all, this team won more regular season games than anyone last year, started off 4-0 this year, but has lost its last 2. Looking for a reason? Look at the rushing stats. Kansas City, best rushing game in the NFL last year. Right now, their rushing game ranks 17th.
What I am surprised at is that when we look at the films on Monday, it's all due respect to the teams that we played, it's really not anything that they're doing. It's what we've done or the lack of what we've done.
Our offense has their own problems to deal with, and the main focus that we concern ourselves with is creating turnovers for our offense.
That offense had its best game in the 35-17 Week 3 win at Seattle. But the Seahawks are a different team. John Freeze has replaced Rick Meyer, and the new quarterback has Joey Galloway more involved in the offense. The speedy wide receiver had 2 touchdown passes and 137 yards receiving against Miami.
I made it a point to try to get him the ball. He's a game breaker type guy, and I think you're doing yourself an injustice if you don't get Joey the ball as often as you can.
For the 2-4 Seahawks, who play their next 3 games at home, an upset tonight could turn their season around. Easier said than done. In the last 14 years, the Hawks' only win in Kansas City came when Dave Craig pulled off this final play miracle in 1990.
This is the team that's kind of kicked our butts the last couple of times. If we can keep it going, if we can knock off Kansas City and then we go home, like you said, for 3 games, it could be huge. I mean, the thing that we could get rolling could take us through the rest of the season.
Guys, we mentioned the tarp. Rain is in the forecast, but it's not going to last through the game, just a slight shower. One thing that will affect the playing of this game, the wind, gusting at over 20 miles an hour. So anything in the air, a pass or a kick, will be an adventure. Right now, let's go back to SportsCenter.
Thanks, Mike. Steve Wisniewski of the Raiders whacked tonight with 2 NFL fines totaling $50,000, $30,000 from League Director of Football Development Gene Washington for his 3rd unnecessary roughness of the year, and then Commissioner Paul Tagliabue adding a $20,000 fine for contact with a game official. Wisniewski, a 6-time Pro Bowl lineman. Still ahead this evening, we have our cover story. Just how good is Derek Jeter, and just what has he meant to the American League champion New York Yankees? Next up, does this guy have enough new buddies around him to add another ring to his collection? You're watching SportsCenter.
Mike
Pappas for Congress, a conservative voice for Central Jersey taxpayers. Mike Pappas supports less government, lower taxes, and the balanced budget amendment. Mike Pappas is a solid voice for taxpayers. Pappas cut county tax rates in 9 of 12 years for a total tax cut of 14%. Mike Pappas improved county services, cracked down on welfare fraud, and protected more than 1,300 acres of open space. Republican, Mike Pappas for taxpayers. Mike Pappas for Congress.
Coming to STS is like being in Paris. I'm always treated first class.
Monsieur Case, good to see you. How may we serve you today?
I need a new set of tires.
Very good, sir. Jacques, show Monsieur Case our great selection of tires.
STS Tire and Auto Centers offer an unmatched level of service. You won't wait on us, we'll wait on you. STS, yes.
Legion of Doom, but to be quite honest with you, we hate the name.
So now we are the artist formerly known as the Legion of Doom.
And this is our symbol. Not bad. I think it goes the other way though, Ernie.
Oh, sir.
Backwards.
From ESPN Labs, a breakthrough in sports coverage.
What about an interactive ESPN?
ESPN Net Sports Zone, with everything you need to be a better fan. ESPN Net Sports Zone.
To paraphrase an old television commercial, what do you want, good grammar or good taste? Boxing's a lot like that, because after all, only in boxing could a fight end on a disqualification because of repeated low blows, which precipitated a full-scale riot, which now creates a pay-per-view rematch. That's what they're selling on December 14th in Atlantic City. Riddick Bowe, Andrew Galata, 2. If Bowe, who has appeared disinterested and out of shape in recent fights, wants a mega money match with Mike Tyson in 1977, he will need a far better performance against Galata next time than he had last time.
My mom was, you know, Riddick, maybe you need to retire. I said, you know, why, Mom? She said, well, because that Andrew Galata boy, he's kicking your ass. You know, and I think that has really motivated me. So, I mean, next time I see my mama, I want to go home and say, Mama, you know, I hope you're proud of me now because, you know, I did what I should have done the first time.
That was a bad night for everybody. I think everybody did the wrong thing and not anyone did the right thing. I think having a deal put together that allows for a rematch allows for everybody involved to do the right thing.
When I prove myself and everybody, then I'm a better fighter. Whatever he does, I'm going to do better.
Also on the card in Atlantic City on the 14th of December, an intriguing matchup of two veteran heavyweights, Terrible and Merciless. Tim Witherspoon and Ray Mercer. Bob?
Tommy Morrison may decide by tomorrow whether to begin his boxing comeback in 2 weeks in Tokyo. Morrison, who is HIV positive, is considering a fight on the George Foreman undercard. Still unknown, the really big question, who would go into the ring against him. Morrison had said his comeback would be simply for one fight to raise money for children with AIDS. And now, Morrison's promoter, Tony Holden, says a fight on November 3rd in Tokyo would be a chance for Morrison to, quote, knock the rust off.
With the start of the NBA season just a couple of weeks away, one of the more intriguing teams to watch out west will be the Houston Rockets, with 3 future Hall of Famers among the starting 5, none of them kids anymore. In Houston, the future, therefore, is now. Here's David Aldridge on the Rockets, a team that could end up in orbit or end up in ashes.
They are vanguards in a space shuttle age. 34-year-old Clyde Drexler, 33-year-old Charles Barkley, and Akeem Olajuwon. As the Lakers' Cedric Ceballos put it this past summer, quote, the Rockets have a lot of good old players. We have a lot of good young players.
Number one, he's right. He's right. We all, you know, but we're no older than the Bulls. When they did win 70 games last year. He forgot. That when he was on vacation, so he didn't know the Bulls won 70 games.
The Rockets have no interest in rebuilding. They don't have a new revenue-generating building to fall back on. So their task following their sweep by Seattle in the playoffs last spring was to tinker, not dismantle.
Knowing that we have the two players that elderly, Clyde and myself, and the future is now. And we have to make that move now because to take advantage of this kind of talent playing together.
So the Rockets did it big. After months of haggling, they finally got Barkley from the Suns, but the price was large. Sam Cassell, Robert Horry, Mark Bryant, and Chucky Brown. That's 43 points, 19 rebounds, and 9 assists a game going west.
Myself and Akeem are the only guys left in our first championship team, so I'm just trying to get a feel. You know, we got good guys, but as far as playing with them, you know, it's sort of difficult.
But Houston thinks it will be worth it. Barkley will post up some nights with Olajuwon attacking from the high post. Drexler can pick and roll with either man. Add free agent Kevin Willis to concentrate on rebounding and defense, and none of the big three should have to shoulder too big a load.
Neither one of us probably could carry a team every night for 82 games and play in the playoffs and win the championship. But I think because we have 3 players of our capabilities, we can divide it up 3 ways.
For the most part, everyone who's on the team has a purpose. As long as you do your job, there should be no problem.
There is the matter, however, of Sir Charles and his ability to play with others. In Philadelphia, Rick Mahorn could match him insult for insult. In Phoenix, Danny Ainge and Joe Klein could take him down a peg. Somebody has to accept that role in Houston.
Charles, he's a guy you got to adjust to, too. He's sort of different. He's sort of moody, and he's up one day and down one day, so you just got to get used to him.
We played some very tough series with them, and you know, I was completely sold on him as a player and as a person.
Houston will also need a strong season from point guard Brent Price, the free agent pickup from Washington. The Rockets committed $18.7 million to Price in the hope that his 43% three-point shooting last season wasn't a fluke.
If we expected Brent Price to win a championship for us, we're not going to win it anyway. It's up to Hakeem, myself, and Clyde for us to win the championship.
The point guard doesn't have to make the decision all the time. He just starts the offense, and we get the ball to the guy designated on that play, and they'll probably be looking at me more than at the point guard because I call the play.
But the Rockets are confident. They think they now have the personnel to match up with their nemesis, Seattle, which has a 13-game winning streak over the Rockets dating back 2 years. Houston is expecting a triple clutch next June.
Nothing less is acceptable for winning this championship. You know, so it's not like somebody's coming to take us to another level. You know, we just want to get back to where we were.
I'm not saying that it's going to run smoothly. We're going to have some family problems, just like everybody does. The team comes first. I think, you know, if everybody believes that, we got a hell of a shot at it.
As David mentioned, one of the reasons the Rockets went out and picked up Charles Barkley was the mismatch the Rockets had against the Sonics out west. Seattle's front court routinely ate the Rockets for lunch, but Rudy T is banking and betting on Barkley to change all that. Now, if image is everything, Derek Coleman will be on Up Close tomorrow. But this is an image. The image of Derek Jeter. It's our cover story next.
This is the new one, right?
I had a feeling it was this.
Ah, nice.
Good stuff. So is it just called Miller? That's it?
That was my second guess. I knew what genre it was in. The genre of beer, that is.
For big flavor that goes down easy.
Miller. Chester, it's Miller.
Taste the taste of new Miller beer. The one with the red label.
Yep, red, white, and blue. Can't go wrong.
New Miller beer. Taste the taste.
This isn't even being filmed, right? You're just having a good time?
Where can you get big savings on the best paint money can buy? At Sherwin-Williams, where this Thursday through Sunday, you'll save 30% on everything in the store.
Sherwin-Williams, where to get it?
Where do you turn for college football's most complete Saturday preview show? The best in the game. Chris Fowler, Lee Corso, and Kirk Herbstreit bring you the inside scoop on the day's biggest games. College Game Day, Saturday at 11:30, only on ESPN.
Beau pantalon.
Hey, she says nice pants. Is American for here.
Darker stonewashed khakis.
Sir, is that good here?
Oui.
Tonight's cover story is brought to you by Dockers Khakis. Hey, nice pants.
I think he's been very instrumental in their whole success. I mean, the shortstop, in my opinion, being a shortstop helps anchor the team defensively and offer some stability in the middle of the lineup. He seems to be getting very comfortable with that role. He's been a very clutch performer in all the games that we've had, and he seems to, when the Yankees need him to get on base, he gets on base. So, he's been a big part of their success.
That's high praise. The baseball expert said he had the best glove since Ozzie Smith and stood to be the best shortstop in New York since Phil Rizzuto. Of course, those experts were talking about Ray Ordonez of the Mets. Derek Jeter of the Yankees is the one who committed 56 errors in Class A ball and whose shaky play during the spring made many wonder if he was ready for the major leagues at all. All Jeter's done since then is lead the Yankees to the World Series, and as Mark Schwartz reports in tonight's cover story, he's not only the best shortstop in New York, he could be on his way to an even loftier title.
Line drive, Jeter's got it! Winning run at third, 2 out in the bottom of the 10th. And it's in the center field. The Yankees have won it. Right back off of Wetland's leg. There won't be a play as Jeter picks it up, or will there? He got him! Jeter around third. They're going to send him home. They'll drive to the inside the Parker. He's in there. And inside the Park home run.
Derek has just been the key to our team. If I were to choose the MVP of this club, I'd probably choose him. Besides being a great ball player, he's a great leader on this team at 22 years old, and that's remarkable.
We thought if he hit 240, 250, that'd be great. Jeez, what'd he hit?
He hit .314 with 10 homers and 78 RBIs, the most by a Yankee shortstop in 60 years. His 17-game hitting streak was the longest by a Yankee rookie since Joe DiMaggio's, also 60 years ago. He's the kind of kid that comes along every 6 decades or so.
He's already been talked about as a mainstay. He's probably the best shortstop since Rizzuto.
Holy cow!
Coming into the year, there were actually questions about, what's this guy going to do? He's never played every day. I didn't have questions about myself. I think a lot of other people did. But, I came into the season with a lot of confidence.
Jeter answered the questions opening day in Cleveland, homering in his second at-bat, and making a defensive play they're still buzzing about more than 6 months later. What a play Derek Jeter made!
He's the electricity on this team. I really believe that. You got a bunch of veterans in this clubhouse, and his youth is what really keeps this team going. The most impressive thing to me is how he carries himself, how he shows proper deference to the veterans, to Cal Ripken and all the comparisons, and almost considers it an insult to be compared to Ripken. That's the kind of kid he is, just a great kid. I couldn't ask for anything more. Being in an opportunity to go to the World Series in your first year, I'm living a dream.
What's refreshing to teammates is that in spite of his success, Jeter's hat size hasn't changed.
There's a humility about him that suggests that nothing is going to deteriorate.
It's very rare that you find a young kid come up and step in the way he has, and with the calm and the cool and the confidence that he has.
Especially in the environment that he's in. He's in New York. He's exposed to all of the pressures of the big city and the big media pressure.
I'm having fun. For me, this is what you play for, opportunity to go to the World Series. So I think a lot of times people put unnecessary pressure on themselves.
Jeter's uncanny maturity was revealed to a national audience this postseason. He hit .412 against Texas, then busted Baltimore to the tune of .417. The Yanks came from behind to get their first 5 postseason wins, and almost every time, it was Jeter that ignited the late-inning flame.
He's not scared. He wants to be that guy to lead off a ninth when you're down a run, and you can just sense it. When he's up there in the big situations, he's going to come through.
I guess this is a making of a new Mr. October.
I'll go for that. I'd love to see it.
When he learns to be a little more selective, oh, man. You saw the kid Rodriguez in Seattle. I'm telling you, he's not that much more talented than Jeter.
I think the most impressive thing is you think he's 22 years old, that position is locked up on the Yankees for a long time, and that's I think all Yankee fans should be happy about that.
Reporting on the baseball playoffs, I'm Mark Schwartz, ESPN.
Mark, thanks very much. Time now to bring in our baseball analyst, Harold Reynolds. Harold, Mark made a point in his piece that at 22, Derek Jeter's already a leader on this team, which is loaded with veterans, Cone and Fielder and Boggs. He's really leading by example, isn't he?
Well, he's leading by example. He's playing the position to lead. Shortstop is always the leader on the ball club, but he has really stepped in and just matured in such a quick way. It's amazing to so many people, but I think what stands out the most about Jeter is his composure. He is so calm. It seems like he's been playing for 10 years. He handles situations so well, Brad.
And in a media madhouse like New York, he really had the luxury of kind of sneaking up on people. So many expectations placed on Ray Ordonez across town as the shortstop of the future. Jeter kind of overlooked, at least at the beginning, a little bit.
Yeah, definitely so. Ordonez was making all the diving plays, and every night he was on SportsCenter and we were showing the highlights. But I think Jeter has been so consistent. We knew he was going to hit a little bit, not like he did. He's really surprised people with the clutch hitting, but defensively, probably more than anything, has surprised everybody. He is so consistent, continues to make the routine play. And when a guy makes routine plays, it's easy to overlook because there's not a whole lot of flair and flash there, but he's very, very consistent.
Quickly, is it too much to expect a rookie like this? He and Bernie Williams have been carrying this team offensively. Too much to expect him to keep that up during the World Series?
Well, I like the position how Joe Torre has used him. He's used him in the 2 slot and then the leadoff slot, and he's around a nice mixture of veterans that allows him to excel. So I expect him to continue to do well.
Of course, you can't think about the Yankees being in the World Series without thinking about the irony of the fact that Don Mattingly is not there. I know you spoke to him this week. What's on the horizon for Donnie baseball?
Well, he's planning on playing next year. You know, he's looking forward to another season. He says I would have done the same thing again. He's had a great summer with his kids, but he wants to come back and play. But he said, I'm not coming back unless I get a chance to play for a contender. And I think there's a lot of teams out there contending that would love to have Don Mattingly.
Harold, thanks, and we'll see you on our World Series coverage beginning on SportsCenter tomorrow night. And still more to come on this SportsCenter, including a recap of the day's top headlines. And then at the bottom of the hour, it is the weekend kickoff show. Chris Fowler and company teeing up the weekend in college football.
Right after SportsCenter, we'll preview the 3rd Saturday in October on the weekend kickoff show.
And I'm going to tell you how Arizona State bites the dust in the desert, my friend.
No way. No way. Let's go down to the SEC, talk Florida and Auburn. Auburn is going to have to throw the ball all day with their quarterback, Damian Craig, to stay in that one.
Healthy disagreements as we look ahead to Saturday's ball games at the bottom of the hour right after SportsCenter.
What does your copier think of the paper you put in it?
Oh, good. He's coming to feed me. I'm starving. Oh, no, it's not great white paper. No, I'm really going to get in a jam.
Copiers worry about the paper you feed them, so Union Camp created Great White recycled content paper. It's virtually worry-free, so it's as good for your business as it is for the environment. Great White, only from Union Camp. One less thing to worry about.
He's got to change my diet.
Are we having a bad day?
Now, with 50% more tender filet than before, McDonald's new Fish Filet Deluxe is sure to satisfy your grown-up needs and desires. For lunch. It's McDonald's with a grown-up taste.
Presenting a great leap forward in batteries. Introducing Duracell Power Check, the only battery with a fuel gauge, so you can see how much power it has. New Duracell Power Check, the world's most advanced battery.
SportsCenter is brought to you by the world's most advanced battery, the new Duracell Power Check.
A horrible story tonight from Sacramento where 2 grandchildren of longtime Major League manager John McNamara were shot to death by their father while McNamara's daughter, the children's mother, watched. The man then killed himself with a .45 caliber pistol. Police say the 2 young boys, ages 6 and 4, were shot by their father while a police dispatcher listened on the telephone. McNamara's daughter, Peggy Watkins, was not injured. Once again, our major stories this evening. The decision has been made. The Niners will start Steve Young at quarterback against the Bengals. Dan Marino may play Sunday for the Dolphins. Took about a third of the snaps today at practice. Craig Erickson still slated to start. And Cubs center fielder Brian McRae re-signing for 3 years rather than explore free agency. 3 years, $11.5 million. Charlie?
And now for some final news and notes. The Milwaukee Bucks have some injury problems. Rookie Ray Allen out of UConn, their first-round pick, has bruised ribs. He'll miss about 4 games, and Armin Gilliam has a swollen big toe. And the NHL has increased the 1-game suspension of Flyer left wing Daniel Lacroix to 2 games and fined him $1,000 for a flagrant elbow he threw at the LA Kings winger Kevin Stevens on Tuesday night. As you look at the scores from the Czech Open, the big story in this one, Boris Becker had to withdraw from the tournament. His right wrist, the one in which he ruptured a tendon at Wimbledon, still giving him trouble. Although he won a tournament in Austria last week, the wrist continues to act up.
We're done. Linda Cohn, Steve Levy will do it again. The next SportsCenter at 11 Eastern time tonight. For Brett Haber, I'm Bob Lee.
And I'm Charley Steiner. See you again tomorrow night at 6:30 Eastern. College football, the weekend kickoff show is